Ooh, on the spot 6, guys. Part 8. Who's still with me? Hands up, everybody. All right, I've lost some of you. Okay, for the rest of you, thanks for staying tuned. It's now part 8 of On the Spot 6. Let's get through this. We can do it. Next question is from Rory Red Brooklyn. He says, on the spot, do you own the Red Sun figures? If so, would you recommend them? And then he follows up by saying, I mean the Superman Red Sun by Mark Miller to clarify. I don't actually own any of the Red Sun figures. I don't seem to really own a lot of DC Direct figures as a whole. I don't know if I would ever pick up any of the Red Sun. While I did like the comic, I don't know the figures themselves, the style. I don't know. If anything, I might have only picked up the Superman. The Batman really didn't impress me. He also says, on the spot, what's your favorite Simpsons episode? That's a good question. My favorite Simpsons episode, actually I can tell you right off the bat, a lot of what my favorite Simpsons episodes are, I think are from the 3rd or 4th year of Simpsons. But my favorite Simpsons episode, my 2 favorites actually, is the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. The one with the monkey's paw. Was that Treehouse of Horror 4? If it wasn't, I'm sure somebody will tell me down below. But I love that Treehouse of Horror. The Treehouse of Horror is actually, for the most part, are my favorite episodes. Standalone Simpsons episode, however, is Mr. Plow. Mr. Plow, that's my name, Yeah, Mr. Plow is definitely my favorite Simpsons episode. I love that episode. It's got Adam West in it. It's got Barney as the Plow King. Great episode. So thank you for that question, Rory Red Brooklyn. Next question is from Matrix King 24. Hey, on the spot, will you review the new Dark Knight Movie Master figures coming out? Also, will you do any more movie reviews? Movie reviews, my friend, are actually on the way. I've got a new segment. That seems to be the thing I'm saying that for this time around. New segment is coming up where I'll be reviewing movies, and I hope to actually start it this month. So that is on the way. As regards to the Dark Knight Movie Masters, I know I still have to do a couple of the Movie Masters, the original ones, like the Batman Begins Batman, and also the Scarecrow. The other Movie Masters I haven't picked up yet, although if somebody would like to send them to me. But I haven't picked those up yet. When I do, I am actually really looking forward to what the Police Precinct Joker, if that was his actual name, and as well as the Two-Face that was coming out from that line. When I do get them, I will actually review them. And he says, P.S. Thanks for all your great advice in your reviews. Well, no problem, man. You know, while I do stumble every once in a while, and I do make mistakes like every other person, I do appreciate your kind words. Hopefully, as I do more reviews, I get better and better with time. And yeah, I mean, it's not there yet, guys. Not there yet, but hopefully down the road, hopefully my reviews are a lot better. But we'll see how things go. Next question comes to us from Way Ron 101. On the spot, who's your favorite 50s monster? 50s monster. Well, I can tell you probably my favorite 50s monster is the classic. I don't even know if that would be 50s. I would probably say it would predate the 50s. I can't even think of a 50s monster. 50s. Would the Blob be the 50s? I think the Blob was the 50s. With Steve McQueen. Yeah, I think the Blob was the 50s. I'm trying to think of other 50s. I really haven't honestly seen many 50s horror movies. When I originally read the question, I thought you meant like some of the older Hollywood-style monsters, and I would have said Frankenstein, but Frankenstein obviously wasn't from the 50s. But I guess from what I've watched of the 50s horror movies, I guess my favorite is the Blob. So hopefully that answers your question. He also says, what's your favorite band and artist? So touching base on a previously answered question, favorite band is U2. He also says, what's your thoughts on all the remakes coming out? My overall thoughts of I'm actually fine with remakes. I know a lot of people say, hey, why doesn't Hollywood put out more original stuff? If you ask me, I'm fine with remakes, providing it, if they do the remake, do it with justice. I was fine with the Friday the 13th remake. I'm looking forward to the Nightmare on Elm Street remake. I think remakes overall is not necessarily a bad thing. Now, granted, if we start turning into where every movie is a remake, then I might have problems with it. Certainly, there are some remakes in the, I believe, in the woodwork, like the Karate Kid. They're making a remake of that, which, if you ask me, they should just leave it alone. You can't get another Mr. Miyagi. I'm sorry. Neverending Story, I believe, also is another remake on the horizon. And if again, a movie, they should just leave it alone. Just leave the classic '80s Neverending Story on it. Just leave it alone. But other remakes, I mean, I'm fine with remakes. The Star Trek remake was good. I like the My Bloody Valentine remake. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre remakes and the prequel was good. So I'm fine with remakes, just as long as they do it justice. That's all I ask. Don't go too off the beaten path. That's the thing I ask. I mean, as long as you stay true to the characters, and like in a case of, I don't know, Superman Returns, don't bring in like children, sons. Like don't ruin stuff like that. But I mean, things like Dark Knight and Batman Begins. Great. I mean, I would consider those remakes as well, and great stuff. His next question is, if you got $1,000, what would you buy? Well, if I had the selfish answer to give, and it was just something I would buy for myself, I tell you what I would buy with $1,000. I would buy a reproduction proton pack, and for anyone who has watched Pia's Pia made a proton pack for Halloween, and he made the ghost trap. Well, he didn't. He built it, I guess, with accessories he bought off of a website, and he had this proton pack, and it was incredible. I mean, the wand, the proton wand, lit up, and it actually had electricity running in the tip, and it had the sound effects, and it played the Ghostbusters music and everything else. I tell you one thing, if I had $1,000, that's what I would be buying. I'd be getting one of those proton packs. Fantastic. He says, when will you review the rest of your Saw toys? So far, you've only done one. Yes, I know I've only done one. I was actually going to shoot all of those and then post them all together, but I got sidetracked. So is the story of my life, it seems. I always get sidetracked. I want to do them, and then I just never get around to doing them, so... But Saw toys, the rest of them are on their way, the other three. His next question is, how high did you bid on One's Customs Freddy? I actually didn't bid very high at all because I didn't have the money. It's so unfortunate that I don't really have a lot of money to be spending on figures in the last little while. And it just happens that it's at the time that One's Customs have been putting out really great figures. I unfortunately missed out on the Friday the 13th Part 5 Roy. I missed out on the Harry Warden that he did. I missed out on the very cool, I believe he's already posted it, the Laurie Strode and Michael Myers diorama set. He is also now doing an H2O set, which I'm going to miss out on as well because I just don't have the money for it. And he also just did, and I've already mentioned this, the Billy from Silent Night, Deadly Night, which was a fantastic figure. I don't necessarily collect 12-inch figures, but that would be enough for me to want to collect those figures. Great figure. It ended up going to CCG, which, dude, I mean, you deserve it anyways. I can only hope that One's Customs is going to do a 6 to 7 inch scale Billy. If he does, I'm going to try to save up some money and put a bid on him. But answer to the question of the Freddy, I really didn't put too much money down because I really didn't have the money. Next question is, what horror character would you like One's Customs to do? Again, just to answer that really, I would love to see a remake Silent Night, not a remake, but I'd love to see him do a Silent Night Deadly Night Billy figure, possibly with a interchangeable Ricky head. I think that'd be fantastic. Maybe a removable hat, and because Billy, you could put like you could clip the beard on. Maybe you could have just the beard, and then Ricky wouldn't have the beard, but you could keep the same body. Oh, I think that'd be fantastic. Another figure, and it's a little more obscure. Another figure I'd love to see him do is the Urban Legends Killer. With the hooded jacket, the furry hooded jacket. I don't know. I've always just liked the look of that character. I'd also love to see him do a fisherman from I Know What You Did Last Summer, because I think that always looked like a really cool character. So those are the ones I'd love to see One's Customs do. Whether he's going to do them or not, I know the guy's got a lot on his plate, so I don't know. Next question from Real Duder. On the spot, have you ever made any custom figures? I actually already answered that. I did a custom figure of myself and as well as my wife. I don't know where those are exactly. He asks, do you like 50 Cent? Not really. I think the only 50 Cent song I really remember is the It's Your Birthday. Dun, dun. Well, I won't sing it, but no, I don't. I wouldn't say I dislike or I like 50 Cent as much as I just don't follow his music. He says, do you have a car? Yes, I do actually have a car. I have a little Yaris. A very manly car. And he says, have you ever seen the new deluxe 12-inch Jason Voorhees figure? If you mean the ones from NECA, I have. I was very close to picking up the 12-inch. I guess, you know what? I think he's probably talking about the ones with the cloth outfits then, probably like more like the Sideshow and stuff like that. Because I think the NECA ones are like 18-inch. If you mean the deluxe 12-inch Jasons with the cloth outfits, I have seen them. But I'm not really into like the 12-inch scale with the clothes and stuff. I think of them as dolls. I know some collectors would say, well, no, they're collectible figures, but I just really have not gotten into them. I mean, my love is really like the little plastic figures, like these guys. So hopefully that answers your question. Next question comes to us from Got Me Wrong. On the spot, what's your most expensive figure, and can we see it when you answer? This one I tried to pull it out for you, and it is so packed away in my closet. I just could not get it out. So I do apologize. But the most expensive figure I think I've purchased is the Optimus Prime Masterpiece Prime. I want to say it's MPO8. I don't think it's MPO8, but it's the Optimus Prime that came with the trailer, and it was one big set. And I know I paid over $200 for it at the time. I really wish I could have had it in front so I could show you guys. But again, I just could not get it out of my closet. So when I do eventually get that closet a little more organized, I'll try to get reviewed some of the stuff that's at the back. Next question is from Skater Crust. When are you going to do Smart Ash? Yes, Smart Ash. Quite often, this is a figure that I get asked to do the most. Smart Ash is on his way. Don't worry, I am doing a review of him. Not necessarily, I don't know if I'll do it for this month, but either between this month or next month, I'll definitely do a review of Smart Ash. So there you go. Next question is from Passagiula. I almost feel like I'm losing my voice. Next question, Passagiula says, on the spot, let's say you're a professional monster hunter and you must hunt down one of the following monsters: Dracula, Frankenstein, or the Wolfman. Who would you go after, and how would you take him down? Well, I think the smart choice out of those three would probably be to go after Frankenstein. Only because Dracula could probably sneak up behind you and turn into a bat, and the Wolfman would probably be very fast. I mean, certainly I could take out the Wolfman with a silver bullet, but I don't know if I'd be able to get a shot in before he took me down. Frankenstein being the slowest of the monsters, I'd probably go after Frankenstein, and I don't know, I'd probably take out his legs. Maybe, I don't know, take a chainsaw, or I could hit him with my car. Maybe not my car, because he'd probably destroy my car, but maybe hit him with a truck. Maybe? Is that a good answer? Hit him with a truck? Next question he asks is, I heard that they're making a new live-action TMNT movie within the next couple of years. Would you prefer a more light-hearted movie or one with a darker tone? Do you think they should bring back the Shredder? This probably has something very similar to the remake question. I would like to. I don't want to see a light-hearted Ninja Turtles. The very first Ninja Turtle live-action movie wasn't really light-hearted. I mean, it had humor to it, but then certainly as the Turtles movies went ahead, they got a little more light-hearted. I would like to see more of a realistic Ninja Turtles movie, a little darker in tone, and being that I would want them to do a reboot of the franchise. So, I mean, that's all the reason I think to bring in Shredder and just completely just wipe the slate clean, start fresh, and I think I'd bring Shredder in. Now, whether I would bring in Rocksteady Bebop, I don't know if you could do that on a live-action, realistic feel. If they did, I mean, even with the Ninja Turtles, I'd want their skin to look like wet. Not wet, but you know what I'm saying, like more like skin, where it didn't look like a costume. I want Shredder to look a little more realistic. But I would love to see a new Ninja Turtle movie, and I probably would like to see it with a darker tone, though. And 3, he says, do you have all your Hall of Fame figures on display? No, unfortunately I don't. I have some of them, like the Hulk, Bane. I have Pitt out. He's out on display. The Catwoman. A couple of the figures, though, I did put back in my closet, just because I really didn't have the space. So when I do eventually get space, most definitely they will be coming out. Next question comes to us from Rick1128. And he says, on the spot, can we see your face? Another face question. I'll just skip over that one. He says, also, do you like Star Wars? What's your favorite Marvel character? I do like Star Wars. I like the original Star Wars movies. I didn't really like the first 3, I guess the prequels, if you want to look at it that way. I don't know. I just don't think George Lucas did a great job. George, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? I don't know. Hayden Christensen. I think George Lucas tried too hard to get too much in the prequels. Like the first movie, like how can you have Anakin, who is a slave, and yet he can build droids, he can build a pod racer. And I don't know, it just seemed like too much, and the midichlorians, just it made no sense. It's just too much. But I do like the later 3 movies. What is it? Star Wars, or New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. I like those. And what is your favorite Marvel character? Favorite Marvel character right now? I'd say right at this moment. I really like the Red Hulk. I still like Wolverine, I think. Wolverine's still a good character. The honest truth, though, is I don't read a lot of comics right now. And especially Marvel, so I'm not really following a lot of the stuff that's going on right now. I can't get around to reading the comics. I just can't get the time. Nor have I really read Blackest Night yet, which, I'm missing out. I know I'm missing it out. But Spider-Man, I still love Spider-Man. So I'd probably say those 3 are my favorite right now. I'm going to wrap this up here, guys. I know it's getting more and more later into this. So what was that? That was part 8. I believe part 8 of On the Spot 6. Gonna wrap this up here, guys, and stay tuned for part 9. Oh man, are we gonna finish this? I don't know. Part 9, guys. It's on its way.